Happy Sunday, activists. It's Mike Bikes for MS. Here to talk to you today about the MSRP, or Multiple Sclerosis Research Program. The MSRP was established in 2009 at a $5 million award by the annual DoD appropriations process. So this process is managed by the CDMRP, or Congressionally Directed Medical Research Program. It funds research with established connections between military service and chronic illnesses. The MSRP seeks to find treatments for all stages of MS, cure MS, and while empowering patients to live their best lives with medication, tools, and other resources. Now, I know some of you think that the pharmaceuticals, big pharma, just throws medications at us to keep us as patients forever. But I don't think that's true. When I was first diagnosed in 2007, there was only 5 medications for MS. There were injections and 1 infusion. Now we have almost 30 medications for MS. We have pills for MS. We have other infusions. We have better medications now than we've ever had before. After having $5 million a year for a few years, the MSRP was awarded $16 million in 2020 after studies completed by the MS Society to show the prevalence of MS in the Americans is more than double what was previously thought. So there's now 1 million Americans living with MS. We previously thought 340,000 Americans. And that goes with people who don't self-report. That just goes statistics. In 2024, we got an increase of $20 million. Very promising. In 2025, unfortunately, we got our funding lost. The current DoD appropriations bill for fiscal year 2026 is $831 billion. And $20 million is a drop in a bucket for that, considered the following. There's definitely a link between service and MS. There's a higher incident rate for service members. Service members are 34% more likely to be diagnosed with MS than civilians. The current statistic of numbers of veterans living with MS is 70,000, although yesterday I met someone, a veteran, who was just diagnosed with MS in March. So I think we need to revisit that number because I meet people all the time on TikTok that just got diagnosed with MS that were service members or veterans. So that is a 2 to 3 times more prevalence than the rest of the population. For the Department of Veterans Affairs, MS is deemed service-connected if the veteran was diagnosed within 7 years of active service. I got out of the service in 2001. I was diagnosed for MS in 2007. Also, right in that window. Since the MSRP was funded in 2009, we've gotten 208 awards, resulting in promising research, including the following. The first blood biomarker test to predict the risk for the disease, and it was received a breakthrough designation from the FDA. This is a plus since a spinal tap was used to diagnose MS before, and that was never 100% conclusive. When I was diagnosed with MS, I had symptoms, 6. I had MRIs to show lesions, and that's what was able to diagnose me. I didn't get a spinal tap for a couple of years later, after my MS had been more stable, and I had a negative result. We funded 13 clinical trials, 395 peer-reviewed journal publications, 102 new grants, and 4 issued patents, all as a result of this research. So what makes MSRP unique? It's a 2-tier process. So we peer review, including consumers, and programmatic, including all key stakeholders. So everybody's peer reviewing it. We focus on early stage investigators, ensure that up and coming research has been necessary funds to begin investigating lifelong research careers. High risk, high reward research. Coordination and duplication avoidance. So the NIH and the VA work together to make sure they're not duplicating research. And also it makes the United States globally competitive as a biomedical research entity. So let's talk about the burden of multiple sclerosis on Americans. Currently, the annual economic burden for the MS in the United States is 85.4 million. Let me correct that. 85.4 billion. Research investments are critical to understanding and preventing chronic diseases like MS, as well as developing treatments for and cures. The MS Society has invested over 1.2 billion in research funding and serves as a strategic partner in federal government on research like the CDMRP. I need you all, every single person watching this video, that are in the United States. I need you to reach out to congressional representatives today. I'm going to put a link in the bio of how to find your representatives for a state and reach out to them via email, via contact me, and request the MSRP to be brought back for fiscal year 26. And we like $20 million. It's a drop in the bucket compared to the rest of the budget. Stay positive, live your life, and I'll see you guys in the next one.